we're going to hit a 41.
Oh, mate, I tell you what, that's a very, very big call.
But look at this, we're in qualifying round number 2 with Peter Coey at 43 now. We've still got a lot of racing to go.
Oh, 48, 43, yeah, right. Okay, so...
Can I just check that again?
Yeah, we'll just need to confirm with that. We are about to go in
Peter
to
Coey.
the 400Bs.
No, that was a misprint on our computer, ladies and gentlemen. 4608 it was, 4608. It came up on our screen wrong, so sorry about that, 4608. All right, now we go back into our Group Bs down here, the pretty well regulated boats. And right out here in front of us now, Daniel Reid from Whitecha and the New World checkout operator, Ben Sol. And Premium Petroleum Transfer Technician, they call themselves, 500 horsepower here in the Eagle Hull. And we've done a fair bit of introduction from the Naki crew right here in front of us. Looking nice and smooth out there. In round number 2, qualifying round number 2, they've had the one time, 102.179, 102.179. So they'd just like to improve on that now, feeling their way around there. Oh, there's a thing out there called fingers, and it's long grass, and it's just grabbed a hold of them as they got a little bit close to the bank there. And a little bit unfortunate, it's really slowed them down, but they've managed to save it. So 102.179. And really starting to worry themselves a little bit now there. You can see that in the driving, they've just backed off a little bit. Unfortunately, some days are diamonds, some days aren't quite work out as much as you'd like. So let's see where we go with Daniel Reid. 105.184, so they've gone slower. 105.184.
Yeah, had the big bog down near the Suzuki Island there, and that's just going to cost you plenty of nerves as well. I reckon these guys will have calmed down a little bit. Obviously, it is their first season, but I reckon initially they would have been a little bit worried. They would have been sweating like cheese on yesterday's pizza as Greg Reardon and Dawn Herb also having their first crack of a Jetsprint facility. New to the sport, the first qualifying round, we saw Greg Reardon parked up at the far side of the track near the Mouthfresh sign, opposite the commentary tower, and they were gently pushed back into the water, but looking a lot more confident this time out, you'd have to suggest there, Wiggy.
Yeah, they haven't registered the time yet, 2 DNFs, but one thing about this, if you talk to Greg and Dawn, they'll be telling you it doesn't matter what we do out here today, it's still better than watching it on CRC Motorsport, so they'll be as happy as hell just to be out here and doing this. They have a L98 6-litre Chevy motor, 500 horsepower with a Macraft hull, and well, it's smooth. It wasn't the fastest turn around the hairpin there, but they kept it smooth. And just looking for them to register a time. If they do get a time, they get their navigation sorted out, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe there'll be a good chance for you guys to get your hands out of your pockets there a little bit for them as we wish for the best.
Wrong way. They took the wrong shoot.
It's confusing. It's
absolutely
right there down there.
Yeah, you need to take the first right, not the second right. So Greg Reardon and Dawn Herbal again,
DNF.
A DNF. Interestingly though, Wiggy, there's a bloke over in Australia, and we call him Wrong Way. He spent an entire season going the wrong way. And, and that's an entire season, mate. That's not an entire
Where was he from again?
Oh, he's from Wait a While. He's from Western Australia. So
it's still Australia is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. But he was from Western Australia.
Okay.
Wait a while, So he was just letting everybody wait a while till he figured it out eventually.
Okay, so according to my track controllers here beside me, he has fixed himself and he is going to get a time. It's 1:26.766. 1:26.
Murray Chittick out on track at the moment. All from Napier Canoeman in a Sonic Boom.
L98 motor again, a 6-litre Chevy, 525 horsepower with the Stinger unit, and Scott 8.25-inch unit Sonic Boom. Not too many sponsors on that boat there, KB, so obviously doing it at the hard yards themselves.
Yeah, small privateers. So
I do see a Bailey sign, I think it was the small Bailey sign there as they went through. But yeah, nice to have these people out here again, first season, and once again, not doing it sitting on the couch and having some issues out here. They've ended up coming up the start loop. Yep. All right, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen. They get themselves well and truly out of kilter with the track, and in their first season, mistakes are big. And I can see our track controller just want to pull them in, but don't let them finish off what they think they're doing. So they are back on track, ladies and gentlemen. They will register a time. Maybe, maybe not. No, she's mass confusion out here for these drivers. Okay, I've been told it's a DNF out here for them, so hard luck. Murray Chittick. Sonic Boom. So just a one time and round number 2, 1:33.846. Here we go. Looking hard at Clayton Tisdale now. And Mandy Tisdale and get inside it. They had a 56.989 in qualifying round number 2. Once again, you're watching the Biolytix Group B, Biolytix Group B. Now this is making a nice job around here. Another good Otago team in front of us. Good to see so many South Islanders making the trip up here this year. Nice flat lines through the middle of it. Very good turn there in the hairpin. And the foot will be hard down all the way around the speed bowl now. Good work. Now just keep it going all the way up along the home straight. Now this is the bit that normally gets the navigational problems. They've got that well and truly sorted out. Once again, foot flat all the way home. And navigator saying there's the finish with Clayton Tisdale, Mandy Tisdale, 54.811. 54.811. Very respectable time. Let's take a look at our next one off the line. It's the Bitches Box, Pip Thompson, Megan Brogy. Poppy, we like to call her. It's a bit easier to say than Megan. Of course, our driver comes from Hawke's Bay, Service Operations Manager there. The big sponsors, Glenethorne, Simmental Stud, Braided Engineering and CAD Limited. The Bitches Box had a time of 55.089 in qualifying round number 2. Nice and flat through the water. Nice new paint job and nice new setup here for them. Does a lot of work as the secretary of the Jetsprinting Association, this lady. And obviously got her heart and soul invested in this sport. Really, really good work. And that's a really nice turn there through the hip and back through the flip-flop through the middle. Around PSB. Very, very tidy here. Really nice drive. The 55.089 is going to come down with the way they've got this track rotation sorted out. Looking to be around about a 53, 54, I reckon. So let's, if you want to give them a hand, any stage you want to put your hands together for these guys, please do it. Just waiting for a time for Pip Thompson and Poppy there. Okay, Pip Thompson, Megan Brody ended up with a 55.913. So not quite as quick as I hoped it would be, 55.913. Tim Edhouse and Debbie Edhouse out here now. Once again, the Ofonga crew. The 500 horsepower L98 motor. Nice corners coming up. This crew's pretty experienced. Oh, they left that turn a little bit late. Through the middle now, made up for it, but they certainly left that last turn really, really late. Didn't get it very smooth at all. Back through the middle of the course we go. Keep it in the right setup. Yeah, that was really good. They did a good job of getting around that hairpin. Hung the tail out nicely and pushed the front around just like they needed to. All right, through the outside. Navigation looks good. We're heading for home. And our Ofonga team, very, very smooth. 56.425 has been their quickest time. As we look down now, they've got a 54.284, 54.284, and they go to the top of the pack here in qualifying round number 3. We go to the two abreast team now. Boat number 29, we're looking at the AMF boats, sponsored Nick Candish panel beating, Petroleum Logistics and Concrete Company boat that we call two abreast. Donna Thompson, Monica Cooper from Wanganui. just rocking and rolling a little bit. Boat seems to be sitting a bit higher in the water than perhaps some of the others do. Taking a little bit more steering, but the thing's getting around not bad. They were pretty successful last season. Very successful, in fact. Found themselves on a podium or two as we come around now. Oh, left that one late, but got themselves out of it. Here's the hairpin. Just bogged down there as we go through it. Back through the middle now. Around the PSB Island, the speed bowl up the top. You can see that boat just jumping around a little bit, just not cutting the same lines as some of these other boats have been. And this is the Group Bs, the Biolytix Group Bs, as we head on through the Biolytix Island to finish off this run for this team. Donna Thompson comes in with a time of 55.012. 55.012. And they've taken off a whole second and a bit, so they'll be pretty happy with that. Patrick and Jay Hayden now on Schizo. They should be next. 406 cubic inch Chevy, 502 horsepower, 8.25 inch unit. Enviroline NZ, BDS Tinting and Graphics, Otrahonga Auto Electrics, to name a few of their good sponsors out here. Let's wait for two abreast to come on in, and we'll get the Wild crew. Oh, okay, I didn't see that. They had a towel apparently draped over the back of the boat, so they got sent back up to get that removed. One of the pit crew there left a bit of hardware on the back of the engine, or the back of the boat, so you have to get that out of there. I think that should be a beer fine for later on for Patrick Hayden, so we'll have to write that down and do something about that in the presentation. But here they are, off the line they go. Always cuts a pretty good line, this boat, and Schizo, their fastest time so far has been a 53.734. 53.734. Pretty aggressive sort of a driver, this guy. He might joke around a little bit when he's on dry land, but in the water it's straight down, hard as he can go, as fast as he can go. And that's nice lines through the middle. Around we go with the left-handers. Back through the middle of the course. Here's the hard right-hander coming at you right now. Cut through there pretty nicely. Once again, full throttle as we carry on all the way through. And the navigation seems to have gone right, so it's going to be a good quick time. As I said earlier, 53.734 is the quickest time that they've had so far. Well, Patrick Hayden, 54.045, so a little off the pace from previous times, 54.045. Okay, so we've got a little bit of trouble with tyres and stuff back into the water. Thanks, Kobe, good man. Schizo's probably is lucky to get by them. There's the odd tyre coming loose over there. The rescue crew have pulled us to a stop. And the green flag's about ready to come up for Jason Reed and Andrew Wells on boat number 26. These guys have a 406 cubic inch Chevy, 500 horsepower behind them. The Eagle Hull, Scott Sprint unit. Cuts a nice line too, this boat. Gee, it looks good. But, oh, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, no, he's going to get it going, and he's trying his best. He's trying his best, KB, and but I think he's bogged it full of mud. So
yeah, absolutely. Keep putting your foot into the accelerator. Eventually clears out, I'm told.
Yeah, well, it would do, but they had some navigational errors too, and I think that played a big part on the brain fade there, and ended up banking it. So, so there you go, the Naki boys, Jason Reed and Andrew Wells, DNF. They've only got the one time at the moment, but at least they have one, and that's 101.024.
All right, Hayden Wilson now coming out in white noise. Chris Hossman, the boys from Wanganui. It's a white Pointer Stinger hull. And Hayden Wilson looking really good in the first couple of rounds this morning.
Yeah, he was really looked good. All right, there's a 52.296 is how good he looked. That's their quickest time, and that's probably going to take some beating just quietly. So if they're consistent, they can still stay around that 52 and better, then that's great. But the way he comes out there, he could go for a 51 and a bit, the way he's certainly driving this boat. Man, it looks good, this white noise boat, Cavey.
Oh, doesn't it? Look, just the way he went around the Biolytix speed bowl at the right end of the track there, just looked so smooth. And there's a man who's just feeling full of confidence, because quite often going around the larger speed bowls, you see boats taking a couple of bites at them. That particular time around, it was just one radius all the way around.
Held a real line, and we had a bit of that while you were away getting coffees. We did have that problem with a couple of those Group B boats. Sort of looked like they took a bite, took another bite, and it's just every little wiggle or woggle is going to slow you down. Let's see how we go for white noise for a time. Hayden Wilson comes up with a 52.361. Nice and consistent, 52.361. So right on the bubble of the 52.296 that he had earlier on.
All right, now Ross Travers, NZ number 1 in the Group B, is coming out now. Shane Travers is the navigator, his son. The boat is radioactive, and they had a DNF round number 1, qualifying round number 1.
And then a 51.870, Cavey, 51.870.
I'll tell you what, and look, you don't wear the number NZ number 1 without having some sort of runs on the board. And tell you what, have a look at the way this thing is handling. Also, just a little bit of a knife into the back edge.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have cost him any time at all, I wouldn't have thought.
Brand new package last year, this boat, and they didn't really have any trouble right off the bat. This thing went well and went really well. And Coleman Marine down there helped them out setting it up, and just great, just travelling really good. The Stinger hull. And of course those 503 horsepower. Let's see where it brings us on the way home. Rough there, just a little bit, Kevin.
Yeah, a lot of the crosswash there, I think, affecting him. Just pulled the wrong line. If you're getting the wrong line out of the water, out of a turn, you'll pick up the crosswash on a different angle to what you would choose to, and that upsets you. And a 50.403, not bad. So he's a bit rough out at the back part of the track there, but
still the fastest.
It's still the fastest side, but if you get that crosswash on the wrong angle, it'll really unsettle the boat.
And the brain.
Well, you know, come on. I don't know that there's a lot of brains going on in the driver's helmet, though, I'd have to say.
I'm going to move away from you, Cavey. Some of those guys are a lot bigger than us.
Yeah, but that's all right, mate, you know, because, you know, the more crap we throw at them, the safer we can be, because, you know, well, look, let's face it, they only have a 45-second lap up here because they can't remember longer than 45 seconds. Now, what I'm hoping is if we're throwing a bit of crap at them, right, that 45 seconds later they're not going to remember it and we could be elsewhere.
All righty.
That's my furtive hope anyway.
Okay, we're just looking to see if we're okay to go to Group A.